What's up, everybody? How's it going? Oh, I'm a little... You get shiny, Destin, today. Good to see everyone. We're up to 99 people. Figured I'd get this thing started. Had a bit of a crazy morning. The Sunday streams are always haphazard. The kids' nap times are changing and such, so I try and get one of these in during nap time. It's good to see everybody. I see some regulars in chat, like Philaroni. Zeno Ningba, thank you for tuning in to catch the live stream. Like when I come on, I lose 3 viewers. Yeah, over on Twitch, I don't think I had any monetization turned on because I haven't used it in forever. So I turned it back on. I have no clue what I'm doing over there. So if you're one of the, how many people are watching on Twitch? 5 people. Hi, 5 people. Good to see you. Usually we have a few people on Twitch. I have a Twitch channel still. It's twitch.tv/Destin, but I don't know what happened with the change. When I started all this out, just to go a little Destin lore on y'all, I used to stream on Twitch really regular, right? That's Clay. You'll probably see him in chat today if he has time to stop by. He's been moderating everything. Oh, thank you, Philaroni. Like Philaroni just subbed with Twitch Prime. Anyway, Clay was my moderator over there, and that's where like the VOD of me setting up for the Xbox, it's like one of the most popular videos on my YouTube came from. It was just from back when I would do those Twitch streams. And it took a lot of like grinding just to get that channel going. And then I started like doing the Xbox content on YouTube. The reason I started covering Xbox is because like I felt like I knew IGN did it like we did on Locked and everything, but you look on YouTube, there's not a lot of good Xbox focused channels. There's a ton of PlayStation. Like I'll watch Colin's stuff. I'll watch Greg's stuff. I'll watch a lot of the PS I Love You, you know, and Beyond, of course, and all the PlayStation shows. But when it comes to Xbox, there's like, you know, there's Colt. He has really high production values. His are pretty good. There's my stuff, which is, let's be honest, like it's news, right? For the most part. And then who else is out there? Like there's people out there. There's the Xbox 2 show and things like that. But when it comes to like a Mystic, I don't know if there's an Xbox equivalent for that. Xbox Frontline is good. Like I watch Xbox Era, I watch Xbox 2, but I felt like there was space for me to have a voice within the Xbox community. So you know this, I mean, if you've been watching the YouTube for as long as you have, you know, I started with the day Xbox almost died, and then I challenged myself to do a video a day for a year. And there's great Xbox creators out there. Oh, see, time to turn off the music because I started getting the ads. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. And I did. Anyway, I don't know if there's rules about co-streaming. I've said it many times. I still watch Asmongold, even though he's become a controversial figure over the last year. I still watch him, but he pointed out that like there's some weird stuff about co-streaming, but I don't think I signed anything about co-streaming, and like Moist Critical co-stream, so I don't know why that's a thing. Yeah, I started watching a lot of the bigger influencers. Good morning, everybody. Would you like me to stop talking about Destin lore and get to the actual news? Yeah, Asben Papa, yeah. They changed the rules on it, I think, about a year ago. What are the rules, Philaroni? Because everybody co-streams, as far as I know. I don't know what the rule change was, if there was one. You'll have to let me know. Sorry, 9 viewers on Twitch. I appreciate all of you. No, I have some longtime viewers who still pop in on Twitch, and like Philaroni just subbed over there with Amazon Prime. I really do appreciate that. We got like tons of gifted members. By the way, I updated the member thing and it was nuts. So the stream last Oh, they did change it. Good. So the last time I streamed, I got a ton of gifted members. So I updated the member list and I had to make a third column for the members and I just put it on the left. So thank you to everybody who's a member, gifted or not. If you want, if you want to become a member, click that join button. You know the whole thing. So that was a bit of a surprise. YouTube app's also been updated since I made that cheesy overlay video loop. Y'all want to talk about the news a little bit? Is there any drama or anything that I missed this week? The Alana situational disability conversation, I think, happened. You know, it's really weird. When you just read the chart and you just are reading text, it comes off so differently than when you hear Alana talk about like the use cases for it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, like that makes more sense. Do I still love that like corporate America is using situational disability in that manner? I still feel like it could be better. But when you actually read the documentation, I don't think it's actually in there used that way. They never refer to being a parent as a situational disability. So colloquially, Alana and all the devs online, they're using it in that manner. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's how this document that you link me to is using it. They're calling it a situational limitation, which I'm totally fine with, obviously. But yeah, I think it just within the Eki, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Situationally, it's just like they're just being they're just using it for shorthand to say, oh, if a parent like can't play. And the argument about having the real argument, you're educated on Alex's stream. I know of Alex's stream, but I don't know what you're talking about. The real argument was about adding a pause button to Elden Ring, which I do not care if they do that. Like, who cares if they add a pause button, right? I'm sort of whatever about it, but yeah, it is what it is. I did not think it was that big of a deal. I think my big response was like, that was super weird. Hey, Steven. Steven says he has no sound on the stream at the moment. Well, that is clearly my fault. And it's definitely not just Steven. And it's nothing Steven can fix. So how can we fix one person not having audio? Just kidding, Steven. That's a little mean. I'm sorry. Yeah. Decidus. That's really funny. That's right. Is he right? Is there actually an audio issue with the stream? It's Steven's fault. Okay. Gaines Gaming Ginger. Thanks, Gaines. I've been hitting the gym. So if you're talking about those type of gains, then hopefully I've been getting a few gains. I got the muscles. No audio issues. Huge problems. No, I'm just kidding. Is Gaines Gaming, is that like, I am a trifecta? I don't know what, like, oh, because GGG? Like GG's? Y'all are probably here for the news, but I am pretty happy with my gains in the gym. Maybe I'll show you someday. Let's get into the news. Sorry, everybody. I'm just enjoying chat and hanging out with everybody. Here we go. So this one was exciting to me. We're using Insider Gaming a lot. I found that I really like Insider Gaming because it's just really easy to navigate for me. Basically, you can see all the news stories in one line and you can like look back through the week. It's not like you go to any other major, well, I like IGN's layout too, obviously. But if you go to like any of the other major outlets, it's weird. It's like too much stuff that's not categorized, for lack of a better term. It's hard to find what you're looking for. Do I listen to ICP? I haven't listened to ICP since I was 12 or whenever they came around. Yeah. I listened to it for my homies. My homies. All right, let's get to the news. I was really excited about this news. Xbox could be getting direct Nvidia GeForce Now integration. Recently leaked images have suggested that Xbox consoles could be getting a direct integration with Nvidia GeForce Now in the near future. On social media, a series of shots surfaced showing the option to play certain games through GeForce Now, which is Nvidia's cloud-based streaming service. Historically, Microsoft and Nvidia have partnered on this proposition, but this would be the first time that a native application has worked itself onto the Xbox platform. Now, I do realize that this is the streaming software, which I'll take a W where I can get it. I wish that the Xbox would use the Shadow Play feature as opposed to utilizing the streaming integration from Nvidia, because if there's one thing Xbox really could use an improvement on, it is their ability to capture video games. The PlayStation capture system blows Xboxes out of the water. It is amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. And I would love it if Xbox figured out a way to utilize Shadow Play as opposed to whatever they're using now. Whatever they're using now just is not good. It's not good. Like, allow me to do 1080p and like capture retroactively. Like the time frames are weird. You can only do like, I think even in 720, you can only do weird stuff. Yeah. Even Steam has a new encoding feature. So like there's all of these options. And anyway, this is about the streaming software, but I saw this and right away I said, oh, I hope Xbox gets Shadow Play as opposed to whatever garbage they have right now, because it sucks. You can now with Share Play even interact with gamers on it. Is that on Xbox, Filaroni? Like, did I miss an update? Because when I play a game right now, it's still the old system, and I'm not a huge fan of it. Anyway, on Twitter, Xtos1S, I don't know how to say his name, posted a series of images that show players having the option to boot games through GeForce Now alongside the usual offerings as Game Pass or outright purchasing. So here's the tweet in question. Did he take it down? All right. So yeah, it looks like Nvidia GeForce Now is an option. I believe this is Japanese. I know a few of the characters in Japanese. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's there. I mean, that's cool. Ecstasis. That's cool. It's not like the bombshell I hoped it was. Let's read the translated post from the person in question. Nvidia GeForce Now integrated into Xbox. It seems that a bigger deal is lurking between Xbox and Nvidia, and its announcement may be imminent. Several games from the Xbox store give the option to play it with GeForce Now. And if you'll remember, this was a point of contention during the FTC trial. So I have to imagine they worked out something to be nicey nice with each other, buddy. And maybe this is part of it. That's good. Forgot to put up the whiteboard. Sorry, everybody. So that would be a good thing in my opinion. And I stole my son's blue dry erase marker. I'm going to do blue colors today. Xbox will win if their next console has Steam on it. I mean, here's the thing. Even if Xbox goes to first place in the near future, I think everybody still wins. Like, I think PlayStation is having a great sales time period for the last several years. So like if Xbox suddenly jumped to first place, it's not like PlayStation is going to disappear. And everybody likes to talk about Xbox and how like they're not doing great. I think any console manufacturer, any company would be excited to have the sales that Xbox has. Joaquin, sounds good, buddy. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, I think that would be kind of interesting. And I would like it if Shadow Play came to the Xbox console. How do you feel about the ability to capture games? I don't feel like it's really great right now, personally. So, yeah. People could stream their Activision Blizzard games on Xbox without Xbox having to acquire the streaming rights. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. I don't think they need any streaming rights. The big story, though, the one I headlighted the stream with, is apparently we're going to be getting a few more Activision games added to Xbox Game Pass in the near future. And I believe I talked about this in the last video that I shot for the channel, but there's a rumor that they're going to sort of do a drip feed methodology. And I don't know how I feel about that. I would prefer chunks, like large chunks of games being added, such as all the Call of Duty games, all the old Call of Duty games. And Spitfire said, I want the prototype games to drop in Game Pass. I agree. Like, that's what I would love. That's what I would love for them to have. They don't want to dump it all because of the FTC. I mean, I guess not. He used all caps and then he just didn't say anything. I was like, all right, why? Like, why do you think that? And then just nothing. So the latest from Xbox is that we are going to get a large edition of new Activision games, starting with Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. That's coming to Game Pass in August. And there are other games going to be added that are going to be added in the near future. Another Activision Blizzard game is possibly joining Xbox Game Pass soon. So this is Samuel Tolbert, and this was corroborated by Jez Corden. So developed by Vicarious Visions, now Blizzard Albany, the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is a remaster of the original 3 Crash Bandicoot games that launched in 2017. When this was added to the list of releases, I didn't think much of it, but when it came out, it was very popular. People were very happy to see that Crash Bandicoot was remastered, and it came out, and they were excited about it. A report from leaker Ecstasis on the Exputer forums, these words are hard to say, indicates that the Crash Bandicoot is coming, the trilogy is coming to Xbox Game Pass in August 2024. I bet that this is part of a larger announcement. I don't think it's just going to be Crash Bandicoot. I bet it's going to be Crash and maybe several other titles, because the last big game that they added was Diablo 4. And they've announced that Call of Duty is going to be added. So the rumor that they're going to continually be drip feeding these games is interesting. I do think this will be part of their Gamescom announcement. And I think some people will be excited, but I hope it's more than this. They should add, like, we're going to add prototype. We're going to add a few other things like XYZ and go from there. And I think that would be interesting if they did that. But if they drip feed it and it's like, oh, we got Crash Bandicoot and that's it, I'd be like, I agree with what some people are saying in chat. Chirple is saying COD back catalog. Absolutely agree. That's obviously what people want. But in addition to that, they also teased that Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remake and the Spyro Reignited trilogy are also coming very soon, though they can't confirm that these games will be added in the same month. What if, like, what's Xbox planning there? I don't think Tony Hawk is a big Game Pass driver. I don't think Crash Bandicoot is a big Game Pass driver alone. But if it was like Prototype, Singularity, Tony Hawk, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, and any of the other licenses that they currently have the rights to, if they still have the Transformers license, I think all of that being added and having a big splash screen where all of that was added at once, I do think that would be very enticing. Like, even if they were adding some of the old COD back catalog, that would be great. And somebody in chat said, if they add the COD back catalog, though, they need to ensure their anti-cheat is up to snuff. Well, here's the thing. COD has already been updated on Xbox. They did that before the Activision deal closed. So I have to imagine they're feeling pretty good about it. I don't know why their anti-cheat wouldn't be up to date. Now, a lot of people are like, what about the Spider-Man games that were published by Activision XYZ? Well, I think the Spider-Man license is held by Sony currently. So like anybody releasing Spider-Man stuff, it's going to come from Sony and PlayStation. I can't imagine a world where they're going to be like, yeah, release all the old Spider-Man games. It's going to have to be like properties that are created and owned by Activision, such as Prototype, Singularity, things like that. And that's why I mentioned that. I think that if they're going to do a large addition to Game Pass of older games, it needs to be like sort of a buffet of greatness, so to speak. I am DVG. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Sony bought Spider-Man for $15,000 or something ridiculously low. I don't know if it's 15 grand, but it wasn't much. And it's definitely been profitable for them. The rumor is that it's going to be a slow drip feed. Analysis, a slow drip feed. More Activision Blizzard games and Xbox Game Pass will be cool, and I'm sure there's plenty of players who will be excited by this, while the dizzying breadth of genres that Xbox encompasses is extraordinarily comprehensive. Family-friendly games are a weak spot that can often be overlooked, so having more family-focused games included in the lineup will be a great boon. Yeah, but I don't think they can just do like 4 of them. They're doing like Tony Hawk and the Crash trilogy and Spyro. So like those 3, like on a splash screen, I think that's less enticing than having different verticals that they add. Danny, thank you for the $2. Going to add you, Danny. $2 from, oh, my kids might have ruined this marker. Danny. Thank you so much. Good to see all the people in chat. Just hate watching. I appreciate the extra viewership. Thank you so much. You know I still get paid when you hate watch me, right? So knock yourself out. And Clay will just silent ban you. Oh, I win no matter what. It's so wonderful, isn't it, chat? Let's continue on from there. So how would you feel about a drip feed? I personally don't love the idea of drip feeding it. I think they need to do big chunks and have those be beats, so to speak. So, a big announcement, you can love watch, Pico Trek. A big announcement of like all the COD games being added, or all the like Gen 1, they could like rebrand it. All the Gen 1 COD games I think would be really good. And then all the Gen 2 like come in the next quarter of the next year. I think that would be really, really interesting and compelling from a consumer's perspective. But yeah. Real quick, so I see the hate watching person. He's saying like he's hating on PlayStation. I have been less harsh on PlayStation because one of the things that has sort of seemed to have happened is everything's sort of equalized. PlayStation's doing cool stuff right now. Xbox is doing cool stuff right now. Nintendo's doing cool stuff right now. And the head at PlayStation is gone. It's Herman Hulst. And Herman Hulst has a pretty good track record versus who was there previously. I think we might go back to an era like the Sean Layden era. I think was pretty good when Sean Layden was there. Like we got the new God of War. We got Last of Us Part 1, I think was under Sean Layden off the top of my head. And Chirple, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. I do think that we're going to be entering a really interesting time, which is part of the reason I was more excited about the Activision deal than most, because I thought it would sort of equalize the playing field. Xbox still needs to come out with great games. They've announced their games at the most recent Xbox showcase, and they've got a really good slate lined up. PlayStation has been soft this year, especially, but they have had a pretty good release cadence. And if you're on PC, everything's coming to PC. So as I primarily play on PC, that's my primary platform. Herman Hulst is a smart dev, and I don't know as much about the other people in leadership. Like I know Hiroki Totoki, Herman Hulst, and there's another gentleman who I can't remember his name who was put alongside, but I think he's managing hardware. All of those people have a great track record on the PlayStation side. And I'm really excited about the next 5 years of PlayStation. Most of my issues were from upper management and their messaging. I'm blanking on the guy who just retired, but I really didn't like a lot of his policies. I didn't like it when they were the one of the first to market their games at $70. I wasn't a big fan of when PlayStation was the first to raise their Jim Ryan, yes, thank you, was the first one to raise their console prices, but time would show that Xbox kind of followed suit, didn't they? So in some negative ways, the console equalized to $70 games, and then everybody raised the price of their consoles, which I don't like. I don't like that from anybody. And right now, where we're at is, it feels like, obviously, the market is softer, so it feels like they care a little bit more about keeping their customers right now. And it's going to be more important for all companies to do that. So yeah, you know, when you come in and you call me an Xbox fanboy, it doesn't really bother me because I am an Xbox fanboy. That doesn't faze me. But I can also be a fan of PlayStation. I've always said I'm a huge fan of PlayStation games. My main issue with PlayStation has always been with company policy. It's so like, that's mainly what I'm saying. All of the additions for the Activision games, just to go back to that for a second, these are rumored additions that we would probably hear about. Yeah, I mean, like, you can see the PlayStation, right? Somebody said that, like, I put that there for some reason. No, it's always been there. It's always been the Xbox and the PlayStation. I've had, since I moved to this house, you can see it's always been there. It has always been the Xbox with the PlayStation right next to it. And if I turn the camera, there's a Series S right there. So it's those, and I got the Steam Deck. It's just where all my consoles are, you guys. Like the crazy conspiracy theories I hear online, they're just hilarious to me because you know what? I just play video games. Where's my Nintendo? All right. It's right there. Yeah, the Switch is over there too. I think the last big game that I played on here was Zelda and the Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread were two games that I played in here. But this one collecting a lot of dust, if I'm being honest. And the reason the console is plugged in right now is because I heard about the updates to Forza Motorsport. So I jumped into Forza, but then Gran Turismo 7 also released another update. Where's my OG Xbox? All that stuff is in storage. You still have the first Killer Instinct? I do. I still have, I think it's the cart that my dad bought me for Christmas. I think it's still that same cart. So yeah. But they added Killer Instinct to Xbox, so I just play on my Xbox now. Like if I want that experience, I just boot it up. You know what? I'm just going to do something really quick. Don't mind me. Chat has completely derailed my chain of thought. I want to see if I got KI still installed. I think I just leave it installed. Yeah, KI Classic. KI Classic is like the one game that I just leave installed because it's like 10 megabytes. It's so small. Whoops. Let's see if I can do anything. I don't remember how to. All right, so that's medium. All right. It's been a while. Give me a break. There it is. All right. I'm going to do one combo and then we're going to go. If you hit the third kick, you can do like a 32 hit killer combo. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it, okay? All right, we're not going to talk about what just happened right now. Oh, we're not going to talk about this. We're not going to talk about it. No, we're not going out like that. I don't know what. Yeah, we're going to F him up now. We're going to F him up now. Screw this. Ah! I want the Ultra! Anyway, yeah, so I really like Killer Instinct. All right, we're going to do one more round. It's been like 20 or so years. Get the frick out of here, combo. It's coming back. That's a 19-hit killer. All right. Here we go. Listen for it. Draw combo. All right. Okay. Anyway, back to the news. Somebody challenged my Killer Instinct knowledge, and I was just like, all right, let's do this. Anyway, where were we? Where were we really quick? Yeah, okay, so they might add some old video games to the to the console or something like that. Yeah, so that is rumored for August. I have to imagine that is going to be part of like a big Gamescom announcement. So for me, I think it would be a good time to do that alongside whatever else they've added to the list. I'm a huge fan of the original Killer Instinct. I didn't do the what was it, Gargos? No, Gargos was KI2, right? Idle. I didn't do the Idle cheat code, but it's hold right LRXBYA on the Nintendo sticks. Did you hear about the Halo 7 lead designer story? Because I saw this one over on Insider Gaming, and I found it very interesting. Rebs Gaming does a really, really good job of covering Halo just generally. He's talked about a lot of the leaks and like what's going on with the franchise right now, because it certainly feels a little odd. Like just the way things have been shaking out, it's been strange. Let's be honest. I do think Halo Infinite is better than most people give it credit for. I think it gets a lot of hate, but Halo Infinite's just a great game. Now, but at launch, I don't know. Mini Bang asked a great question about Game Pass. Just going back to that for a second. How much of a probability is it that Xbox will announce some kind of World of Warcraft plus Game Pass equals true at Gamescom? When Ryan did the interview with Phil Spencer, I had a line into his ear, so I was able to like ask him about, like try and do a follow-up. I was like, Ryan, if you find a chance to like get the question in there, ask them about World of Warcraft on Game Pass, because he kept bringing it up. So to answer, Minibang asked that question over on Twitch. I think it's coming. And I think they've been talking about World of Warcraft so much that they have something up their sleeve. I think they have something up their sleeve with World of Warcraft, but they're waiting for like the time. Why not? You know what they should do? They should allow the like World of Warcraft Classic subscription to be free or something like that. Like whatever they're struggling with. We know WoW has controller support like Final Fantasy 14 does. We know that people would obviously adapt the game, but I do wonder if there's a cost benefit analysis to how that would work. A new tier with WoW subscription, I think that would be a way to do it. But to get, I mean, that's a great question. And honestly, that has been on my mind forever. I bring it up on Unlocked all the time. I'm like, why not add World of Warcraft to Xbox Game Pass? I would play the crap out of World of Warcraft if it was part of Game Pass. But right now, I know that I have to drop that additional amount of money every month, the $15 or whatever it is. And then I have to dedicate time to just play that game. There's this interesting thing happening just in the gaming space right now. Basically, whatever game you play that game and that's all you play. And if you play other stuff, you'll find that you don't really have time to balance all of that. So I play a lot of Destiny. I've been playing a lot of Destiny. I'm trying to get to 2,000 powers, the cap. I'm missing like one piece of armor. So next week, I'm hoping that I can get a chest piece, which is what I've been trying to, that's the last thing I need, right? And that's the game I play. And then there's First Descendant, which is basically like another Destiny. So if I want to dump 100 hours over the next 2 weeks, I would have to play that. And then there's games even like Halo Infinite. The reason I like Halo Infinite is because you can kind of jump in right now and jump out. But yeah. But World of Warcraft is that game where not only do you have to dedicate the time, you also have to spend the $15. If they added it to Game Pass, I think they would get a massive influx of new Xbox Game Pass subscribers. So I'm curious about that. I am curious about that. Lane, maybe you know, just a real quick Destiny question. If I do the raid on Master, can I get the loot again? Or if I've done it on normal, am I clocked out for the week? Because if I can do it on Master, I'll just do a Master run tonight, maybe. Anyway, Halo 7 got a new lead designer. Now, this is Halo 7. I don't think this is Halo Infinite, because Halo Infinite is 6, technically, I believe. Let's talk about this story. The next game in the Halo franchise has a new lead designer. Spotted by Rebs Gaming, 343 Industries has hired Dan Nady as the new lead designer for Halo 7. So I do find that very interesting because it means that Halo 7's in the works. The amount of support that Halo Infinite got was enough, hopefully, to take us to a Halo 7 announcement, which is sort of happening right now with all these news stories. Now, I like Halo Infinite, but I think like its time is like done. I think players are probably waning quite a bit, even though it's great. Like everything that they've done with Halo Infinite in the current year space is positive, in my opinion. I really like how the game feels and all that right now. But there's been rumors that they don't like the engine and they want to get off of the engine and all that stuff. So I am curious where that leaves them. Now, he previously worked as a lead designer on Hyenas at Creative Assembly and as a designer at Bungie for a decade. During his time there, he worked on both Destiny titles as well as various expansions for the games. Here's what Reb says. After speaking with a ton of cool teams about rad projects, I'm getting a shot to work with the Chief and friends. Nady posted on his LinkedIn page last month. Oh, no. I love Halo and I'm very excited to be part of adding to its legacy. Halo 7 is in development at 343 Industries and appears to be using Unreal Engine based on another job posting. No other details or confirmation about the state of the next game in the franchise has been announced by Microsoft as of this writing. That's not the first time that I've heard the rumor that they're working in an Unreal Engine 5 and now realizing that that was from a job posting gives me the inclination that this is legit. Because we have one of the leads now announcing it. That's really interesting. Like, what are they going to do? Maybe they just admit, like, look, Halo Infinite wasn't the smash hit we hoped it would be. I personally like the campaign. In hindsight, I was really torn between Returnal and Halo Infinite. And I'm a Halo Infinite fan, so that year I believe I ended up picking Halo Infinite for my game of the year. But that was also the year Forza came out. In hindsight, I think Returnal was the better game. Returnal was very good. But it was like neck and neck between those two games for me. Those were my two favorite games of that year. Returnal and Halo Infinite, believe it or not. Both shooties, both shoot 'em ups. And man, I don't know. I think it's just the campaign and the story was like good, but not amazing. The slipstream tech failed them, Filaroni says. I'm kind of shocked they're not using id Tech. There's so many options about where they could take the Halo franchise, but Unreal is just too enticing in terms of industry experience using the engine and what you can do with it, that I'm surprised they didn't go to Unreal sooner. The Slipspace engine was supposed to be this thing, but like anytime you're building an engine from the ground up, like unless you're Hideo Kojima, why? Look at the new Metal Gear, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but like look at the new Metal Gear and how awesome it looks. Like everything they're saying about the new Metal Gear is perfect. If we can get that kind of buzz around the new Halo, I think that would be great. And there's a bunch of fans making cool Halo stuff too in the Unreal Engine, which is awesome. Here's a story about a game not in development. Banjo Kazooie. Thank God they're not putting development resources towards a new Banjo Kazooie. I know a lot of you in chat probably love this game and you love Banjo Kazooie. I do not get the hype. It's like a Mario wannabe. Paris, yeah, you're one of them, right? I do not get the hype around Banjo Kazooie. I don't get it. I'm having my Killer Instinct Paris moment right now when Paris said, I don't get why everybody loves Killer Instinct. I don't even think Banjo is like in the same class. Like I would rather have a new Killer Instinct any day because you got the whole FGC there. You got all of the awesome FGC people who are going to play that game. And Banjo Kazooie, like, I know there's a bunch of 40-year-old dads who really liked Banjo Kazooie when it came out, but is it going to have the same market appeal? I know he's popular. I just like Banjo. No, thank you. Thank you, Shoddy Legion. Sorry, Paris. I am not a super Banjo fan, everybody. Paris took the L for Killer Instinct. Destin takes the L for Banjo. Now we're square. Banjo doesn't have mass appeal to greenlight a new game. Yeah. The news story, long story short, is that it's not happening. Here's what Insider Gaming said about it. According to Windows Jez Corden in the latest Xbox 2+1 podcast, a new Banjo Kazooie is not in development. I don't know if never, but I can tell you right now, categorically, there is no Banjo game in development as of this podcast on the 26th of June, 2024. There is no Banjo game in development right now. Nate the Hate had rumored that Banjo was greenlit in late 2023. I think it's not. No, that's not happening. They already redid the Rare collection, I believe, had Banjo in it, right? It had Banjo 1, 2, and 3. And for me, I'm just like, finish Perfect Dark. Like, out of all the games that you're going to put forth your efforts to, you're going to remake Banjo. Hey, I have an idea. Remake the original Doom. Like you're doing Doom the Dark Ages, like remake the original Doom, remake Elder Scrolls Oblivion, remake the original Fallout, remake Fallout 3 for all I care. But Banjo Kazooie? Really? Out of all the IP you have access to and the opportunity to bring back or like remake or remaster, that's the one you would go after. I don't think that would be a good use of development resources. And that's just my hot take on it. And that's not to like take away from people who love the Banjo games. Yeah, remake Morrowind, remake Lost Odyssey, remake Blue Dragon. There's like 50 other games that would be at the top of my list that are not Banjo. Banjo is so low on the priority list for me. And I imagine for them too, because they're looking at the market data. Yeah, Fusion Frenzy might, like, when you get to Fusion Frenzy, okay, maybe you can consider remaking Banjo. Mech Assault, another great one. Like, chat's just going off right now about all of these amazing games that Xbox owns that could be remade before Banjo. That would probably have more interest and market share in them, right? I actually think Mech Assault would be really well timed right now because they have the Armored Core game that did quite well for From Software, and then they could redo Mech Assault. Crimson Skies over on Twitch, somebody's saying. Like, Paris, I'm sure you can think of something that's not that's not Banjo if you're still in chat that you would rather see remade. Am I right? 1 versus 100. Remake it in Unreal, everybody. So that's my super hot take. And honestly, I think it's the right call to not remake Banjo Kazooie. Let's just Google Xbox owned IPs. I don't know if this is a comprehensive list, but we're just going to go over to Wikipedia for a second and just like what's a list of stuff that they own that they could currently remake. We can go to the Activision Games in just a second. Battletoads, Blue Dragon, Conquer. Conquer's another one. Remake the original Diablo. Like, you could update the original Diablo. What else they got? Remake Forza Horizon 4. So you don't have to list it. Just kidding. That's a bad joke. I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah, Mech Warrior, Project Gotham Racing. I think that could be interesting. Ooh, StarCraft. That's right. Tony Hawk. Viva Pinata. Yes. Viva Pinata. If you're talking about like kid friendly, before you get to Banjo Kazooie, I say Viva Pinata. I think that would be huge. Anyway, I don't mean to like Paris probably shut it off because of my Banjo Kazooie blasphemy. But there's, like I said, there's like 50 games ahead of Banjo Kazooie in my opinion. There's just way more options in terms of what would garner interest. So sorry, Banjo, but you would get the hard pass from me. If I had the decision making hat on, I'd be like, nah, let's make Viva Pinata. Let's make a Viva Pinata again. And Viva Pinata actually holds up, so they could just remaster that and re-release it. Prototype. Yeah. Let's get the Wolverine license and remaster X-Men Origins Wolverine. We're going to go to a bit of a downer. Just a heads up, everybody. But yes, more layoffs as part of the layoff content that we continue to get from Microsoft have been announced. We've only seen like 4 of the people post on social media, but we know this is part of the larger initiative to reduce staff over at Microsoft. Here's what Insider Gaming wrote about it. They basically said a bunch of people went to social media, and it's believed that they're part of the 1,500 to be laid off in June. But yeah, unfortunately, Angela Vanessa was a senior product manager at Microsoft who said, "Hello, friends. In light of the recent layoffs at Microsoft, my position was eliminated, and I am now on the lookout for my next career adventure." Jessa Birdie, who was laid off during her vacation, sad to announce that my role with Microsoft has been eliminated. To all those who have been part of the Team Xbox, thank you. Corey Ebert said, "Well, this isn't how I thought today would go after nearly 15 years." Bye. Basically, I talked about this in the last video I shot, so I don't want to harp on it too much because honestly, it's just a huge bummer, and is obviously everybody wants the best for the people who got laid off, especially some of these people are like known well in the industry. The layoffs are just very, very unfortunate. Alma says, I mean, we're moving to a digital future, Destin. Yeah, part of this, there's a two-pronged reason why this is happening. First of all, it's very clear we're moving towards a digital future. 90% of sales, it's like 89.4% of sales are digital right now. So as much as people like me want to talk about how that's problematic and we don't want that, people have spoken with their wallet. You vote with your wallet, and that does affect the future of the game space. And the people like watching my stream and the people talking about all this stuff online, we're like 10% of the market, maybe. So while our voices are loud and while we talk about game preservation and the things we like and we don't like, fact of the matter is people want convenience. They're lazy. They don't want to go to a store and buy a disc. How often do you guys go to a game store, any game store, and buy a copy of a disc at a midnight sale? I'm willing to bet most of you all pre-order on Walmart or pre-order on Amazon or wherever and just get the game shipped to your house. I hit this point in my life where I'm like, I am not doing the midnight sale thing. It's stupid. Yeah. And Alma says, as a PC gamer, I haven't seen a disc since 2010. And that's the thing. I think it's fine in some instances. I think Steam does it exceptionally well. The problem is a lot of these games are adding elements that force them to be online for multiplayer purposes or whatever. And I would encourage anybody in development to be mindful that your games need to be played offline. And while we're on that topic, let's talk a little bit about those Xbox outages this week. The game industry, especially Microsoft, needs to come up with a better authentications. Let me try that again. The games industry, especially Microsoft and Xbox, need to come up with a better way to check if you own the games on your account. Because right now, I've been told, unless your console is set to your home console, if your account is offline, you cannot play your games. And that is so frustrating for the average consumer. I would imagine that most consumers don't take the time to do some weird thing with your profile where your console's set to your home profile. So they're just sort of locked out of being able to access the stuff that they purchased, which is weird. Now, I haven't verified this, but I have been told that Nintendo has you verify every 30 days, which I think is the good way to do it. So you verify, and then you don't need to check again. And that would address Microsoft's problem with having to authenticate the games every time you sign on. It's like the Diablo problem where they were loading everybody's inventory. Don't do that. Only load it when somebody like looks into the menu. Why would you load it when like the person's standing there and no one's interacting with that? So Microsoft needs to come up with a better solution. I don't think PlayStation has this problem, but maybe they do. I know like Gran Turismo 7 is a great example of a game that should have a better offline mode than it has. You lose access to a ton of your stuff when that game goes offline, and I think you can just do the arcade races, which is ridiculous. Why do I need to authenticate Gran Turismo 7 online? Like that's weird. And when Xbox went down, I tested it. I couldn't play. I tested it with my Metal Gear game that I always keep right here, because it's the best version of this game still for reasons. I don't know why. I couldn't play it. I couldn't play Red Dead because I couldn't install the game, even though it's on the disc. There's all of these barriers to being able to play your games right now, and they're not necessary. And I really hope Xbox comes up with a better methodology to authenticate that doesn't have them hit this brick wall. This is like the 4th time this has happened. And I feel like I make this video every time. It's just like, just come up with a better authentication system. Just come up with a better system. So you can authenticate once a month and then lock it in. That's it. That's all I really have to say about it. I think it's stupid that they still haven't come up with something. This is like the 4th year in a row they've had a major outage where everybody's complaining about it. Authenticate your purchase, and then you should, if it's like Dead Rising or Red Dead Redemption 1, I can't play that offline. If I put the disc into my console, I can't play it. Are you crazy? I got to bust out my old 360. It's stupid. It's so stupid. Anyway. And this isn't just like an Xbox thing. Like Nintendo was a little better. PlayStation kind of has the same problems. But yeah, it's just like, come on, you guys. Like, oh, he has 600 achievement points out of 1,000. We better make sure it's really him. Like, really? I have 1,000 hours in the game. You think I'm trying to like steal it? Like, there's so many other checks and balances they could introduce. Anyway, let's talk about Metal Gear, a game I am very excited about because it was the next tab I had open. Snake Eater Remake will have insanely detailed camo and healing system. As you can see, there's like more gore on the character. On the last stream, I played a little bit of Metal Gear 3, and then I played more off stream after that. And I'm actually right before the point in the game where you can snipe the end, like way before the boss fight ever happens, so you never have to fight him. Anyway, I am very excited about this, and it looks basically 1-to-1 with the original. So they're adding some really new, interesting healing systems. Insider Gaming wrote about this. This is actually from the same thing I talked about last week, but I'm just really excited about Metal Gear, so I just wanted to bring it up really quick. And here's the thing. These assets that we keep seeing, let's just bring up the trailer really quick. These assets that we keep seeing for Metal Gear, this was all done in, guess what? Unreal Engine. Do you know the other trick, changing the system clock? Yeah, he dies if you like change it for a week. I don't know how to change the system clock on a modern device though. You would have to like do it manually. Anyway, this is an example of like what a game can look like when it's created in the Unreal Engine. This is what they're talking about doing with Halo, remember. So when I see what Konami has managed to do with Metal Gear, I have Halo in the back of my brain also. Because the rumor is Halo is also going on Unreal Engine. Thanks for your input, Matt. Like, what are you doing, dude? Go for a run or something. Go outside. Anyway, yeah. What Konami has done with Metal Gear is great. I hope this game is good. Yang Ye did a whole video about this, and it's like, it's looking so good that he's worried something is going to go wrong. So, yeah. Yeah, it looks so good. All the hand-to-hand, all the stuff. Everything about the Metal Gear remake is exciting. And remember, the rumor is Microsoft. Yeah, I just timed them out. Like, go away. Go to the gym, dude. Here's my advice to people that hop into chat just to say something stupid. Go do something else. Like, I appreciate you giving me money by watching that ad before you came in and upping my viewer count. But, like, that's what you're doing with your Sunday? Come on. You got to get a better hobby. I'm very excited about the Metal Gear remake, and I'm very excited about what Halo could do in the Unreal Engine. But let's see. Metal Gear Solid 3 is great. I'm right before the end fight solid. The game's not that long either. Separately, continuing on the news front, apparently Nintendo has laid out plans to combat Switch 2 scalping. With the highly anticipated release of Nintendo Switch 2 next year, the company's president has unveiled a significant plan to combat scalping. This plan is a reassuring step. Chat's going a little crazy here for a second. This plan is a reassuring step for players who often face the challenge of securing a new console on launch day. During an earnings call, Shuntaro Furukawa, I can't talk today. Furukawa, yeah, I said it right, the president of Nintendo, recently addressed the issue of scalping for their next console. As per VGC, Furukawa addressed 3 main pointers. 1, Nintendo will make sure they provide an appropriate amount of stock so that the supply matches the demand. He stated that they will consider the circumstances in each region. Semiconductor shortage will not be an issue for Switch 2. They are going to sell so many Switch 2s. They're going to sell so many Switch 2s. Devin's got it right. He said he's outside walking with his kid while listening. I appreciate you. I think that's a really smart... I think that's a really smart way to just reassure people. And I think the Switch 2 is going to do exceptionally well. Did I mention it was a slow news week? I'm just looking at the rest of them. All right, we're going to just like blaze through the rest of these, I think. Call of Duty is gearing up for a Deadpool and Wolverine collab. Sure. How do you feel about the crazy Deadpool skins, chat? I'm genuinely curious about this. Do you like the Nicki Minaj skins and all that stuff? Yeah, it's whatever. I think it's part of the larger problem where the industry is doing all. As spotted by Dot Esports, there was a data mine that Wolverine and Deadpool are going to be added to Call of Duty. And honestly, I think that is a good pairing. I have not tried Xbox and an Amazon Fire Stick yet, but that's a good idea for a video. It's obviously cross promotional for the movie. 2 questions. First one I asked was, how do you feel about all the cross character skins? I'm sort of like meh on it. And the second one is, who is hyped for Deadpool and Wolverine? I've already asked a friend. There's this guy where I live who he's an Xbox fan. And I don't know a lot of people out here. I was like, hey, just getting ahead of it now. Do you want to go see Deadpool and Wolverine when it comes out? So I scheduled that like a month ago. And I'm looking forward to going to see that movie. Because it's not something my wife wants to go see. You know, I can't go see it with the kids. But yeah. I'm very excited about X-Men or Deadpool and Wolverine. For sure, 100%. What else we got here? Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster coming September in 4K and 60 FPS. That was another one. Sort of covered off on that one last week. Very excited about that. I don't have a lot to say. I fired up that game a few days ago and I forgot how clunky the controls were. But once you get to it, it's not so bad. Ubisoft has announced that the Watch Dogs movie is being shot. They're working on it. So, yeah. I'm not going to talk about Eat Fresh Guy. It's just, yeah, it's a thing happening. I mean, the long story short is the Watch Dogs movie has officially started filming. Great. And the tweet was lights_camera_action.exe. I think the Watch Dogs movie will work better than the game did because the concept of the original Watch Dogs is really, really cool. And I really hope it's the original Watch Dogs and not what it became, because I feel like all the they were like going for punk rock, but they went for like, what would be the right way to say it? Like some weird modernized version of punk rock where everything's vibrant. I don't know. So if they do Watch Dogs, I want them to do the original. I think the main character was Aiden in the original. A lot of people like Watch Dogs and they like Watch Dogs London. I think those games, they forgot what the game was about. The game was about being a hacker and they made it like, is too much. I don't know. It's like too over the top and too wacky. And like, yeah, I don't know. I really, really like the first one. I really like the location in New York. I like the abilities that you had and the concept of it. But by the second one, I was like, I'm not even going to play this. So yeah. Cine Star says, I'm playing Redfall. It's fun. I mean, hey, if you like it, could go for it. I did not think it was very good, but knock yourself out. The first one was Chicago. The first one was in Chicago because I actually did a video. You can still go watch it on IGN, where I went to locations in Chicago and filmed those locations, and then went to those locations in game and compared them side by side. And then we did it again for Grand Theft Auto, for The Division, and it kind of became a little bit of a series on IGN where we would do that. And we also do it for movies because I did it for Ghost in the Shell, so we did it for a few movies after that. Not like a super original idea, but I am proud of those videos that I made. Continuing on, there was a Horizon Zero Dawn movie in the works. It's not anymore because the director is not great. Scoop, Rolling Stone has learned that two of Umbrella Academy showrunner Steve Blackman's projects that were in development at Netflix, a Horizon Zero Dawn series and an original series, Orbital, are no longer moving forward. And if you look at the threaded, toxic, bullying, manipulative, and retaliatory behavior, sources, and an HR complaint paint Steve Blackman as a manipulative and chaotic showrunner who fostered a toxic workplace. So unfortunately, the Horizon Zero Dawn movie is on ice right now. They're going to need to find a new director. There's no way they move forward with that guy. So yeah. And we talked about that. Oh, TGS is heating up to be kind of an interesting year because PlayStation, aka, well, Sony at least, is going to be present. This is the first time that Sony and PlayStation have been present at TGS in several years. I believe the last time, looking at the Insider Gaming link, was 2019. And that year they showed off Death Stranding. So if they're going to have any sort of presence at TGS, I have to imagine that we get Death Stranding 2 or something of that caliber. The areas where they're listed, though, are like the indie game area and such. So I'm not sure that it will be quite as compelling as we thought. But yeah. Okay. Love Insider Gaming. I felt like this headline was a little weird. Gorilla dodges question regarding Lego Horizon on Xbox. Recently, they just asked the question and he said, we're not talking about Xbox right now. So is there a chance that Lego Horizon is going to come to Xbox? No way, right? We don't really have anything to announce about Xbox right now. It was sort of like a non-story. However, when talking about the Nintendo Switch version, Wielder was more forthcoming, stressing that the squad at Gorilla wanted to deliver family-friendly. The whole thing about the Horizon story is I released a video talking about how all games are rethinking their exclusivity strategy. All game console manufacturers anyway. Nintendo is expanding in a weird way, granted. So the people that I spoke to said Nintendo's probably further off for multi-platform, but right now the way they're experimenting is with more movie presence, and they're adding they like did a theme park, so they did a partnership with Universal. They're loosening up the tight grip that they have on their franchises, and they're letting other people sort of be experimental with that. PlayStation releasing Lego Horizon Adventures on the Switch is one way that they're going multi-platforms. They're going on multi-platform. I don't know what happened with that, Andy. So like that's a thing happening. Sorry, chat asked me a weird question. It totally threw me off my game. And Xbox obviously releasing for their games on other platforms is a pretty clear differentiation from what Nintendo and PlayStation are doing. PlayStation is released. I think it's like a 6-month wait right now for their games to hit. Some of them are day and date, like Helldivers 2 is day and date. And there are others that are going to be day and date with PC. But right now there's like a longer gap for their single player experiences. And I think this just goes to show that the market has drastically changed in the last several years. Yeah, is Concord PC? Did they confirm that? I still want to play Concord. I know they're doing, I have the open beta on my calendar. If the open beta feels bad, they're screwed. Concord has seen nothing but negativity about their announcements. I don't quite get it because I did my stream and I reacted to it and I'm like, it seems fine. It's Destiny. It's got a bunch of old Destiny people and they made it on Destiny. Then I watched the previews and some of the stuff that they're doing feels weird. Time to kill is too fast. There is apparently a delay on some of the attacks. That has me more concerned than any of the stuff that I heard. Like if they didn't get the gameplay right on top of everything else, then that's worrying. Yeah, there's Flintlock and there's the Antlers. It's an A. I had it installed on my Steam. 1 second. Altars. The Altars demo was out on Steam, and Flintlock, which I'm somewhat interested in. I think that last trailer did look better than anything else we had seen. So, yeah. And the last story I had, Jimmy, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sort of 50-50 on those games. I think the Altars looks interesting. I don't know about Flintlock. I think Flintlock's going to be middling. I'm not seeing a huge voracious fan base for Flintlock. I am really worried about Concord. Not like personally, because I think it looks interesting, but the amount of hate I have seen for Concord, it's like unprecedented. I couldn't believe it. So I think that game is going to be troubled at launch, so to speak. Any thoughts on Wukong? I'm hyped for Wukong. I played Wukong at Gamescom last year or the year before, and it was freaking awesome. That game is so cool. I'm very excited about Wukong. That's my take on Wukong. Yeah, and talking about layoffs again, I don't mean to end on a downer, but Ubisoft Toronto affected by layoffs. Reorganization within studios resulted in 33 redundancies, and unfortunately, it does seem like it is going to impact the Splinter Cell game. As reported by PC Gamer, the developer announced that it has conducted a targeted realignment of its teams, resulting in redundancies in order to ensure it can deliver on its ambitious roadmap. We are committed to providing comprehensive support to employees, including severance and career assistance, to help through this transition. They're a French company. That's the law, so they have to do that. Ubisoft Toronto noted that the layoffs will not impact ongoing projects, including the Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, and Splinter Cell Remakes. Okay, well, those aren't impacted. But I do worry about whatever the heck is going on in Ubisoft. They're talking about doing an Assassin's Creed remake, and I'm telling you they need to do Altair. Or Altair, right? Altair. That's how they say it in the game. Very excited about that. And Black Flag. I think those are the two that they need to go on. Any thoughts on Avowed Dev comments on working on melee combat, feeling and looking bad during Showcase and the Deep Dive Direct? Did they comment on that? Let me, because it looked terrible. A possible explanation. That one's from 5 months ago. All right. So here's Game Rant. This is from 2 days ago. Avowed's combat criticism resulted in big changes. This is why you don't accept it. You gotta talk about this stuff. Who's the troll, chat? Just let me know. I'll just get him out of here. I just don't want to deal with this today. Why is this on? I want to go to the actual site. Why is it? What has happened? Man, this is like the most trolls that I've had in a stream in a while. Thank you for getting me to 400 viewers, trolls. I do appreciate you. Feel free to keep trolling. Nobody's going to be able to see your comments. You can think that you're still getting it, but you're not. So Avowed's combat criticism resulted in big changes. This is why when I criticize a product, it's because I say, hey, this looks problematic to me. I want it to be better. I don't want to see a game fail. So when a game's combat looks like doo-doo, you should say that, because they might actually hear it and be able to have a positive change to the overall combat system. This is exciting. This gets me a little bit more excited. A lead developer working on Avowed, Obsidian Entertainment, upcoming action RPG, has revealed that negative feedback regarding the game's combat mechanics resulted in major improvements being made to its gameplay systems. We'll see at launch, but that's exciting. Although receptions toward Avowed has been mostly positive so far for, I guess most people, not everyone has been pleased, with many voicing their opinions about what they've seen of the fantasy role-playing game on social media. Fortunately, it seems Obsidian has taken a lot of this feedback to heart and adjusted Avowed accordingly, signifying the developer's willingness to listen to the demands of players. Avowed, I don't think it's going to be a massive hit, but it could be good. It could be like a good out of 10, right? There's a lot of people really excited for this game. I went on a rant. Go watch the last episode about Avowed and why I'm concerned about it. But he said he thought Avowed was good enough to show as is. After all, the studio was always planning to spruce up its combat and gameplay mechanics before shipping. When you're on the big, that quote was right here in this article. But that quote comes after they showed it. Like, you're showing this on the biggest presentation stage ever, and you thought it was good enough? You have to have caveats when you're doing a live stream that's all about your product. Like, you need to have it plastered all over your screen. After the feedback, we just went, okay, let's look at this. This is a big deal. People are noticing this. We should polish this sooner. Good. We really analyzed the feeling and movement when the player swings their weapon and the moment of impact. Were there any delays? Was there any system that might have been preventing it from being immediate? He cited posing, blood impacts, VFX feedback, and audio, among other elements that Obsidian focused on refining to make combat feel more juicy. That's really heartening, if I'm being totally honest. Like, my biggest concern out of that demo was, hey, that gameplay didn't look great. And the fact that they were saying, oh, okay, they're right. Let's see if we can make a positive impact in the gameplay department. That has me more excited than anything I've heard about the game. People just want an Elder Scrolls clone, to be honest. It's not. I just think they set expectations with their teaser, and then they drastically changed the visual style in its entirety to give it a different look. Harry, thank you so much. See you for the next one. And I think that really threw a lot of people off. And I think that's totally fine. Like, it's sort of to be expected when you do that. But yeah, that's like everything I think for the week. Let me see if I missed any, because there was some stuff about PlayStation. PlayStation Stars is coming back. Like, that's not really a story. It has been a drastically slow news week. And it's one of those situations where I'm just kind of like, I'm not going to force it. Like, I don't even want to shoot a video because I don't even know what to talk about right now. Will says, just love the PS fanboy argument that Game Pass is only old games and indies. Out of the 40 or so games shown at the showcase, 25 to 30 of them were day ones. They don't know what they're talking about, dude. Just like, don't let them get you. But thank you for the tip. I do appreciate it, Will. And Will's right. Like, I think most people are just weird about that stuff. It's like, if you're not subscribed to it, what do you care? What do you care? Why do you care? Who cares? The problem is that everyone's stuck to the first impression of about, yeah, like a grittier Elder Scrolls, I think would have sold a lot better than what we saw. I think they're going to have a hard time with Avowed. I do not think it's going to do gangbusters. I hope it does well enough that they take chances like that. But yeah. We stopped the cookie business. Somebody on chat was just asking about the cookie business. We stopped the cookie business this year because we sort of saw that our sales weren't as strong last year. And I'm like, well, we're going into, a lot of people are saying we're going to go into a recession. I don't know that we should go next year. And like, we're so busy with the kids. So like, it was sort of multifaceted. The cookie business did great for us, but we decided to stop it. It's a lot of work, man. You got to bake all the cookie orders every week. You're chasing 2 kids around the house, you know, all day. And then you got to do the cookie orders, which I love making cookies for everybody. But you got to pack all that. You got to print all the labels. Then you got to pack all that. Plus, the cost of ingredients had gone up so drastically at the end of the year. We were just like, look, we're so overwhelmed with the kids and everything. We're going to pause it for now. We got 2 boys to look after. And that's where we ended up putting our focus right now on the family. So I do appreciate people asking, wanting to know more about the cookie biz. But yeah, the goals were just be mom and dad and utilize any of the spare time that we have to do more with YouTube. And it's been going good. We might bring it back. No promises or anything, but there is a chance that we bring it back at some point. But I don't want to get you all hyped up or anything like that. You need to outsource your work to someone else. I don't know how to do that, but that's not a bad idea. I got to figure out what, what's her name did with her cookies. But like, that's not our original recipe. Ours is the original recipe. If I can figure out, like, if I can have somebody else make the cookies in a manufacturing plant and package them and handle the shipping, and all I have to do is mention that we brought the cookies back, like, that would be great. If I can just be like, somebody else just do everything and I'll just, you know, be a dad, that would be ideal right now. Because until the boys are like they're 1 and 3 right now, we're in like hard mode raid boss right now. So yeah. So real quick before I go, I wasn't too happy with my ultra combo before, and somebody questioned my fighting game skills. So real quick, I'm just gonna hop back into Killer Instinct. Hey Paris, if you're still watching, I'll show you how to play a fighting game. Oh, do you think he's still here, chat? Or all right, final version. We're just gonna start over because I should have done better with this Say Wolf Tech. Oops. Oh, Jago. Jago's actually kind of hard. You want to get Jago first. Going to Gamescom this year, Junk Mail says. I've been told no, that I'm not needed this year. Should I do the Ultra? If I can hit that third kick, I can do like a 64 hit Ultra. All right, that's an okay Ultra, but yeah. Got the juggle. So that was a 35. I can do a 42 hit, which I think is the biggest Ultra in the game. There's some nuts stuff people can do with nope. I did DSL. Whoops. That means something else. I'm messing up my Lay Seiken. There's a Lay Seiken finisher. It's sort of like, here, I'll try and do it really quick. That's one of my favorite enders of the whole game. Oh, I dropped it. So it's just like, it's just this. So there's the Ultra. It's just sort of this one combo that you do over and over and over again. But yeah, it's my favorite combo because it's the largest one you can do. I learned how to do it when I was like in high school. I can put the focus on the game. Let's see if I can. So as you go into the game, the AI does that cheap thing where it's trying to take all your quarters. I'm gonna try the. I think it's. Ah, I can't remember. Is it down, down, down? Quick punch. I can't remember the KI1 finishers. It is down towards. No, okay. Away towards sword quick punch. Away. Wait, I had to look it up. It's away toward. Where's the finishers? Away toward quick punch. Okay. Do you want the finisher, chat, or away toward quick punch? All right, let's see. Okay, see, the AI is getting a little aggressive now. I think that I should just do fatalities. Do I normally stream at this time? I try and stream by like noon. Is it everybody's sticking around to watch me bust out some KI? Okay. You got to get really cheap the later you go in. If you could just erase your mind any games, what would it be? Mass Effect. Easy answer. She's gonna go off the okay. So anyway, what was I talking about? There's a you can I don't remember how to do the no mercy. 1 to 4 player distance. I don't remember how to do it. Yeah, it would be Mass Effect Filoroni. Easy one. It's my favorite. And just like that, I'm a Let's Play channel. Just for KI1. Sabretooth gets crazy aggressive. Yeah, see, all right. That's not good. See, you just stop doing the combos at this point. Or you like purposefully drop them. Oh, I accidentally did it. I accidentally did her ultimate. Anyway. I mean, I meant to do that. I meant to do that because I'm so good at video games. See, I'm going to do a lot of shorter combos. Because they get really aggressive. And then I'll probably lose the spinal. We'll just go till I die. Boom. Are you hearing the gameplay on the mic? Yeah, basically, if I make a mistake, I'm going to get nuked. I'm just going to go right into the Ultra every single time. You're not hearing it? Well, I mean, it's just KI on my TV. This is the yeah. This is my Fanatec back here. Something's wrong with my Forza game. Like the colors were like way off. I don't know why. Yeah, you can see the AI gets like a little nuts. I think they started doing input reading around this time. All right, center's done. Let's see if I can beat this game. You still play Killer Instinct every day, James Thomas? There's no way. Let's Play should be a official part of this. Yeah, I'll just do it on my TV in the background and it's all blurry. Okay, Spinal is. Yeah, Spinal hit me like one time. Spinal gets really nuts. Like, look at that. He's so fast. Yeah, he's so annoying. Oh, I should have got lucky on that one. Spinal normally kicks my butt. Did you ever get into the reboot? I did. I don't think I have the reboot installed, but I had a pretty good combo with Jago. It was like heavy kick into quick punch. It's sort of like hers, but a little different. And then the medium, you would do the double blade spin. I think Kevin Bayless. I really like the sound effects for Fulgore in this. This feels honestly, this feels too easy, or I'm just that good, you know. Team beatdown on Destin. So we're on the final boss now. I wonder if I did it in one go. Not hearing the gameplay. Yeah, it's my bad. I just did this sort of impromptu. So he has to jump in, and that's the only time I can really do anything. Yeah. Ah, he's healing. Jump. Jump in. Jump in. Yeah, that's it. He's so cheap. So he has no, like... He's going to jump. Nah, I screwed up. So Idol is like the cheapest boss of all time. I'll give it one more shot, but yeah. I got a street qualify. Oh, this is better because he'll... All right, all right. We got him, we got him. Jump in. He's going to jump in. Nope. If I try and attack him and he's not open, I just lose. Yeah, like those. So I think he's being stupid, though. I think I got him. Yes! It still feels good. All right. Anyway, yeah, that's all of Killer Instinct. We beat him. Yeah, Idle is so cheap. Anyway, that's just, I haven't played this in years. I'm so glad somebody beat it up or brought it up in chat. I do really appreciate it. Brings me back to when I was a kid. I played this game so much. Alex, she's like, it's Nissan. 1, 2, 3. Like, what is she saying? She's like talking to her boss or whatever. I don't think I don't have the original on there, but thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for bringing up KI1. I think I'm going to bounce for the day. Sort of a slower news day. I don't have any reacts queued up or anything, but thank you everybody who supported. I do appreciate everybody who tipped. I know I don't write everybody on here today. It was a little bit of a shorter stream. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much, everybody. You all have been awesome. A big shout out to the members. I don't think we got any new members. And a big shout out to everybody who subscribed on Twitch. I really, really appreciate you. And to whoever talks smack about Killer Instinct, I appreciate you also, because I just owned you. I am still good at the game, 42 years old, knocking it out of the park. I'll see you for the next one, everybody. Bye for now.